hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Royal Reset Podcast. How are we doing today, Your Majesty? You're looking gorgeous, Queen. How are you doing? How you chilling? How you feeling? How you living? Mm-hmm. Queen, I am so happy to see you. So happy to see you. Thank you for coming back to what is this, the 24th episode of the Royal Reset Podcast, Your Majesty. I just love our conversations every week. Go ahead and prop me up in your kitchen, in your living room, in your dining room, wherever it is that you do your weekly chores to get yourself set up for the week ahead. Queen, I have so much to discuss with you this week. I am doing great. This is me after a week of vacation. I'm sad to be going home today, but it was exactly what I needed. I visited 6 theme parks. I mean, we might as well just jump into how was my week. I visited 6 theme parks: Disney World, Epcot, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Animal Kingdom. And then I visited Universal Studios Florida, Islands of Adventure, and Epic. I had such an amazing time out here in Orlando, Florida, even though it's ghetto out here, girl. It is ghetto out here. I'm happy to be leaving because of that, but sad because the end of my vacation is nigh. It is nigh. What about you? How was your week? We spoke about your goals for the week last week, and I want to hear, Your Majesty, were there any setbacks? Were there any roadblocks, Your Majesty? Did you reach your goals? Tell me, Queen, how was your week? Yes, Your Highness, that is exactly what I love to hear. Look at you out here styling and profiling, slaying, killing your goals, out here every day showing up for yourself, going after what it is that you want. Do you know how hard it is to keep going in the face of setbacks, in the face of negative Nancy's, in the face of roadblocks? And you keep going. Every single day you show up for yourself. Every single day you prove why it is that you are so powerful, so purposeful, and so magnificent. Every single day you set an example for the people around you, because so many people would rather live in complacency, would rather live where they think the known is safe. But you and I know that the known is not always safe, that the known is a trap, that the known leads to unhappiness, leads to an unfulfilled life. So you going after your goals and your dreams every single day, you stepping into the unknown, stepping outside the box, reaching for your best life. Amazing, Your Majesty. You are amazing. I am so damn proud of you. So damn proud of you. So let's discuss what has been. No, let's start off with the 4B Queen of the Week, right? Shall we start with a 4B Queen of the Week? Let's get a drum roll, please. None other than Crystal from the Read podcast. Yes, yes, because y'all came hard for my queen this week. And I want to talk about it. Let's discuss it. We discussed Cardi B and her situation last week. And if you would like to watch that episode, you will have to join the 4B Royal Court on Patreon, $5 a month. to get the odd episodes of the Royal Reset podcast. All the even episodes and the first 20 episodes of the podcast are on YouTube for free. However, if you want to catch any of the odd episodes, you will have to go on patreon.com/4B to join the 4B Royal Court. That's PHORBE. And so last week's episode on Cardi B and her situation is actually on Patreon on the 4B Royal Court. But if you missed it, we discussed Cardi B and her situation. And I think that, first of all, Crystal, we're not going to diminish this Black Queen's accomplishments, first and foremost. Okay. Okay. The Read and the Read podcast, Crystal and Kid Fury are pioneers in the podcasting, the Black podcasting game. Okay. These are legends in the Black podcasting arena. All right. The Read has been around for over a decade. Okay. Making money for over a decade, has millions of followers and listeners every single week, myself included. Okay. So we're not going to diminish her legacy, her success. We love to do that to Black women. Okay. Case in point, Jada Pinkett Smith. Yeah. It's very funny to me how she just dropped that podcast episode with Jay Shetty, where she spoke about how when the whole situation with August Alsina started and her and Will Smith went to the red table, they were going to tell the world then and there that they had separated, but were still legally married. And at the last minute, Will backed out because he wasn't ready for the world to see him as not perfect. And in doing so, and backing out from telling the world that they were no longer together at the red table talk, he opened Jada up to immense criticism. We're going to stop diminishing the love, the support, the queen and the Black women. We're going to stop doing that. Okay. Crystal is the queen of podcasting, the queen of Black podcasting, the queen of Black pop culture podcasting. So we're not going to come for her neck when she literally, the whole issue this week was her doing what it is she's been doing that makes her the queen of podcasting for over a decade. Yes. Everybody has the right to their opinion. This is what we spoke about last week. Okay. It's not about Cardi B's child, because we know that Cardi B could take care of any child that she has. She's going to take care of that child. She has a village. That's not the issue. My problem was with the baby father. You just came from this guy who publicly, in front of everybody, in front of so many women, triggered so many women when he told you, and he triggered you because you spoke about it with Kelly Rowland. You spoke about it with that girl on CBS. You spoke about how depressed you were when he came out of the blue talking about you my baby mama, I won. Of course, we want to see you succeed. We want to see you happy. We want to see you flourish in the face of whatever bullshit that man was spewing in your ear publicly. So my issue was with the guy. Stefan Diggs is just a watered down version of Offset. You're still getting mistreated. You took one step forward and 10 steps back. That's my issue. Crystal's issue is that she wants to see your career go to the heights that we know you can go to. And so she talked to you like an auntie. And I think the fact that Cardi B responding the way that she did, calm, cool, collected, not in her Cardi B-esque fashion, tells us all that we need to know about how she feels about that situation. She knew that Crystal was coming from a place of love and was right. So we're not going to come for Crystal's neck. Her literal job is to have opinions. Her literal job is to go in on people. It's called the read for a reason, folks. let's not act like we are the smartest people in this country, okay? The 92%, we are the smartest people in this country. Let's not let's not act like we don't understand what she was saying. Let's not act like we don't understand where she was coming from. Okay? Okay. So we're gonna respect Crystal. She is none of our opinions really matter at the end of the day, because like I said, the kid is gonna be fine, is gonna be well taken care of, well fed, has an entire village behind them. Cardi and all her children are gonna be okay. Okay? But what we're not gonna do is we are not gonna sit up here and try to diminish a Black queen who's pioneered the podcast genre for Black people in the popular culture space. We're not gonna do that. So shout out to Crystal for being the queen that she is, doing what it is that she does, and getting y'all to actually talk and have a conversation. But let's not diminish the heights that Black queen has taken us to in the podcasting game and in the pop culture podcasting game. Yeah. Alrighty. So yeah. Shout out to Crystal. The 4B Queen that stands behind you and is rooting for you, Queen. We know this ain't nothing but dirt on your shoulder. You have already moved on probably, but I still wanted to take the moment to reach out and to celebrate Crystal, because even in the face of adversity, this is not the first time she has faced adversity like this. This is not the first time people have come after her for something she has had to say on that podcast. And every week, with grace, she moves on, because none of y'all opinions matter. What do I tell the 4B Queen every day on TikTok? Other people's opinions of you is none of your damn business. Is none of your damn business. Cardi, same thing. Our opinions of her is none of her damn business. None of her damn business. We could talk all we want to, but at the end of the day, she's gonna be okay. She's gonna be good. She's chilling. Exactly. Awesome. So shout out to Crystal, our 4B Queen of the week. Now, what has been entertaining me this week? Let's talk about that. What has been entertaining me this week? Him. The movie Him. I saw it last Sunday at Universal City Walk in Florida, here in Florida. And the entire theater was empty. And I went in like, oh, okay. This might be, but nah, y'all on some bullshit. For real. It's such a good movie, and I think it's getting negative reviews by the same folks who said that Weapons was just as good as Sinners, who tried to give Weapons a near perfect reviews. The same folks who said that Weapons was just as good, if not better than Sinners, but then were real quiet when the whole theme of Weapons made news, national news, twice since then. Real quiet. The same people who are review bombing him are the same people who were in mourning last weekend. You catch my gift? You catch my gist? Yes. So I always like to tell you, just go see the movie for yourself. Make your own opinions. Just like we spoke about with Lilo and Stitch a few months ago. People up here talking about how she abandoned Lilo when that was not the case. Have you watched the movie? If you've watched the movie, you will see that she did not abandon Lilo. That is not what happens. She chose herself, and she chose to take care of Lilo in a way where she's also taking care of herself. Lilo was not abandoned. Lilo was okay. Chilling, okay? Sees her sister often. You need to watch the movie for yourself. But anyways, him was amazing. Okay. It was not as good as a Jordan Peele directed, Jordan Peele written movie, but it was still good. And my favorite part that has me still on the edge of my seat, still thinking about the movie to this day, a whole week later, is when Marlon's character says, if you are starving in jail and someone comes up to you and offers you food or freedom, you don't really have a choice, do you? Mm, 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 mm. That is literally the entire theme of the movie. The entire theme of the movie, and basically what I wanted to speak to you all about today. Because so often we feel like we are pushed into this box. You know, the movie discusses the black man and how the black man sacrifices their body and their health, to do a little dancey dance for America and for these 5 or 6 white men at the top who are making buku money off of them while they're making pennies. But they do this in the face of and under the guise of making it, of being success, of taking care of their families. They make these sacrifices in order to be the GOAT, in order to be him, in order to be the greatest of all time, when in reality, they're just trapped in this endless cycle of being used and abused for pennies on the dollar. And I want to discuss today, I want to discuss that today, but let's go back and let's just say it was a great movie. See it for yourself. It was a great movie. It looked good because Tyreek is fine, okay? Marlon Wayne's fine, okay? The men that they brought in to help Tyreek practice, fine. It was a delicious movie, okay? 1, 2, it was a great movie, had a great message. I hope you all hear it. Again, we are the smartest group in this country, okay? Black women are the most educated people in this country. So let's not act like we don't understand. Let's not act like we don't know that people review bomb movies that they just don't want to see succeed. Go to the movies, see the movie for yourself because it's amazing. It looks good, puts you in your feels, and has you thinking. I'm still thinking about that line a week later. Yes, amazing, amazing, amazing. I also read 2 books, but again, I'm not going to give you the title of the 2 books because the writing was just off. Again, the stories were amazing, but the grammar and the editing, I need our Kindle authors, our Amazon Kindle authors, our self-publishing authors to put in just a little bit more effort into editing their pieces. Because it seems like they're writing these books and publishing them first draft, not going through and maybe not just first draft, maybe second draft, because I'm not seeing the editing that I'm talking about is not misspelled words or grammar issues. It's continuity, right? So in one of the books, again, the story is amazing, but I just have to use my context clues in order to keep following along because 2 pages ago, you said that this situation happened yesterday, but now you're saying in this scene, you're saying that the situation happened today, earlier in the day. Like, there's no continuity. Did you go back and edit? Did you review that before you publish? I need our self-publishing authors to just go through, do another edit for continuity. Great on the grammar, great on the spelling. You definitely did your spell check. Thizzle for shizzle, my nizzle. But I need y'all to go back on continuity. Anyways, the books, I did finish them because I'm not the type of person who DNFs a book. DNF, do not finish. I'm not the type of person who does that. There is only one book, and I'll say this every single time. There's only one book that I have DNF'd, and it's because it pissed me off so much. And I'm so glad that y'all are starting to talk about that too. Everybody's talking about Michelle Obama and how Barack Obama just said that he's just now getting in Michelle Obama's good graces. Yeah, because he was a horrible husband. The book that I DNF'd was Becoming, because I was so pissed off on Michelle's behalf that I just had to stop reading. I couldn't even finish the book. Eventually I will go back and I will finish the book, but that is the only book that I DNF'd. So I did finish those 2 books that I read this week, but I will not give you the titles because, again, needs to be edited. The stories were good though. Stories were good. And I started a new book where the editing is a little bit better. But again, the example I just gave you about how a situation they said 2 pages ago started yesterday, and then in the current chapter, they're saying that it was earlier in the day, that came from that book that I just started reading last night. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's making me want to almost become an editor because it feels like it's needed. It makes me want to become an editor for self-publishers because I love that you all are stepping in your purpose and doing what it is you need to do to edit and, not to edit, to write your books and get your stories out there. But we've got to do some editing, folks. We've got to do some editing. And I can't talk because the editing that I be missing out on when I was in my creative writing classes in college was grammar and spelling. So really, I can't talk. And this is why I'm not going to drop the names of the authors or the books, because I'm really not want to talk. Let's just be real. Let's just be honest. Anywho, let's discuss why we are here today. And it has a little bit to do with him. But really, I have been scrolling through Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Threads, Blue Sky, X/Twitter, and I have been seeing a lot of fear-mongering. A lot of fear-mongering. A lot of people saying that, you only have 2 options: to stay here and die or move out the country. Or, a lot of people saying that, just like trying to box us into this situation that we are in as a country right now. And I think it is a great parallel for him, really, because like I said, him discusses the main premise of him is discussing how Black men feel boxed, feel caged in to this cycle of the only way that they matter, the only way that they can be great, that they can be successful is if they are in sports. But while being in sports, they are sacrificing their health, mental health, physical health, emotional health for pennies on the dime, dancing around for Americans who could care less about them and aren't making enough for the sacrifices that they make every single day in order to be seen as successful, take care of their family, etc., etc. And it's just an endless cycle. And I think that we are in an endless cycle of fear-mongering right here and right now in our society. And I want to give you some hope. I want to let you know that this is a cycle that we have been through before. If you know your history, you know that this is a cycle that is on repeat. Same thing happening in France. How many times have the French people raised up against their government. There is a whole famous musical, Les Miserables, on the French Revolution. Like, them French people don't play. American people don't play either. And I just want you to remember that this is not the first time that we have been through tough times in this country. It's not going to be the last time, but at the end of the day, you and I are going to be okay. We are going to be okay. Yes, it may be scary, but I want to challenge you to think of this situation differently. Okay? I want you to think about the Great Depression, right? Major recession. But what do we get after the Great Depression? A time of immense prosperity, immense joy, happiness. After the Great Depression, we got people building businesses, making money, joy, creating families. Out of the darkest times, we create magic, especially the Black women. Okay, Queen. So specifically us, we are going to be okay. There are Black women who became millionaires during the civil rights era. The roaring 20s was a time of strife and and devastation for our people, right? But we still got the Harlem Renaissance out of it. We went through COVID, and that was a terrifying time for our people. So many people passed away. So many people were left behind by loved ones. So many people were scared, were terrified, lost their jobs, didn't know how they were going to make rent month to month. And we get the Renaissance album out of that. Black women especially are unfortunately trained through trauma to turn chaos into prosperity, to turn chaos into victory, to turn chaos into abundance. We take the parts of the pig that you don't want, the scraps, and we turn it into chitlins, into food that people still eat today in the South. We take scraps and turn them into a hearty meal. We take pain and turn it into art. Again, it sucks. It's not, we aren't trained to do this because, we grew up in a society that loved on us and taught us this in a nurturing way. This is all because of trauma. We have been through this before, and we are better equipped to handle it. So I want you to know that I'm feeling, even in the midst of all the fear mongering and the fear and the uncertainty, I'm feeling hope. I'm feeling like it's the darkest before the dawn type of situation. I'm feeling like we are on the cusp of a new era of abundance, prosperity, happiness, joy. a new level of learning, of creation, of community. And yes, it's going to suck. It sucks right now. And yes, there are horrible things happening, and we will not get away from this unscathed. We will have some scars at the end of this. But again, we are equipped. We are internally adept at handling this situation and moving forward in this time of uncertainty with poise and with elegance, while also creating magic. Again, the Harlem Renaissance. Again, the whole Renaissance album. I actually have some examples. I'm not just pulling this out of my ass. Right? Audre Lorde said, let's not, we'll come back to that. But we've got the Harlem Renaissance. Out of oppression, Black artists created literature, jazz, and style that shaped American culture permanently. Joy and brilliance flourished even in restriction. During the Civil Rights Movement, freedom songs, Sunday best clothes at marches, and dances were woven into the movement. Joy was as much a weapon as protest signs. I want us to detach from the fear and the fear-mongering and remember our power and our purpose, right? We have gone through this before, so we know the playbook, right? So I want us to stay focused. We went into this 4 years knowing that we were about to go through some mess. And we said, we're going to step back and we're going to let y'all handle it. And in the meantime, we are going to focus on ourselves. We are going to focus on our purpose. We are going to focus on our communities. And that is what I need us to keep doing. Keep doing. Because let me tell it to you this way. Remember a couple of weeks ago when we were speaking about haters and how having a hater is a good thing because it shows that you're doing something right? Yes. And remember how I told you how to deal with your haters? To ignore them. Ignore them, right? Because when you do not act the way that they expect you to act, when they poke you and try to bring out the bear, but you don't give them the bear, you win. Ultimately, you win. Because they're stuck looking stupid and you still get to flourish and be the badass that has them hating in the first place. It's the same concept. Ignoring the fear, ignoring the fear-mongering, and moving in joy and peace and prosperity, even in spite of the oppression they are trying to force upon us, is the most powerful act of protest that you can have right now, that you can do right now, that you can accomplish right now. So let's go back to what I was gonna what I brought up on Audre Lorde. She said, "Caring for myself is not self-indulgence. It is self-preservation, and that is an act of political warfare." This is coming from history. This is coming from text. This is coming from our most successful and most profound thinkers. Audre Lorde, Bell Hooks. And All About Love, she emphasized that love of self, of community, of life itself is a transformative force that dismantles domination. Toni Morrison. Morrison's novels often show how Black joy and imagination are not separate from struggle, but in spite of it, and thus incredibly powerful. This is our gift as Black women. We have been through this so often, unfortunately. Yes, I know it sucks. This is coming from trauma, but we have been through this so often that we know how to take what we are given and make it into magic. Make it something beautiful. And so I want you to detach from the fear. Detach from the fear mongering. Don't let them box you in to you have to stay here and die, or you have to move to another country, or you have to do this, or you have to do that, or everything is going to hell, everything is going to shit, we are blah blah this. No, do not get caught up in that negative cycle. Do not let it happen, Your Majesty. Do not let it happen. You are magnificent. You are powerful. Your life has purpose. Focus, focus, focus down on you, on your purpose, on your community, on you, on your purpose, on your community. Find your joy in you, your purpose, and your community. And I promise you, Your Majesty, you are going to be okay. We are going to be okay. I want you to retrain your algorithm. If your algorithm is sending you these messages, I want you to click on it, hold until the menu pops up, and click not interested. Because of the creator, because of the taglines, because of the sound, whatever it is, train your algorithm. If there are people that you are following that are telling you or fear mongering to you and making you feel some negative type of way, unfollow them. If you take a look at all my social media accounts, you will see that I follow maybe 50 to 100 people on each, because I am not about that getting online and scrolling and finding fear mongering, fear mongering, fear mongering. I'm not about that life. My whole job, my whole life, my whole purpose is being online. So I can't log off, but I can damn sure make sure that what I'm seeing is helpful, is encouraging, is uplifting. So whenever I come across a fear mongering video, I hold on TikTok, I hold it until the menu pops up and I click not interested, and I click because the creator. On Instagram, I click not interested. Don't show me this mess again. I unfollow. I block. Keywords. Oh, on Twitter, block the keywords. Game changer. You can do that on Instagram and TikTok, I believe, as well. Block keywords. To protect your sanity, to protect your peace. Now, this doesn't mean, when I say detach, I don't mean do not stay informed. Stay informed, Your Majesty, but on your own terms. Maybe what it is that, you choose the first 5 minutes of your day at work to go through a reputable news source and see what's happening for the day. That's it. Stay informed, Your Majesty, but detached from the fear, detached from the negative emotions that they are trying to push up on you and that others are unintentionally pushing up on us as well. No. We are a powerful people. We have been through this before, unfortunately, and we have survived, and we have come out better, smarter, finer, funnier, more creative. We have created literal art out of all of the oppression and negativity that we have faced. That is our power. That is what makes us magnificent. That is what makes us her. To be quite honest, that is what makes us royalty. So do not let them plunge you into fear. See this for what it is. Every single time we go through this cycle, it's difficult for 5, maybe 10 years. But afterwards, we have a decade or 2 of immense prosperity, abundance, joy, happiness, businesses created, flourishing. See this for what it is and hop on that right now. So many people are saying we are coming to a recession. We are in a recession. We are halfway through a recession. You know what happens during recessions? Millionaires are made. How are they made? Because you buy stocks while they're on sale. And once the recession recovers, those stocks skyrocket. I know there's so many people that are living paycheck to paycheck. They ain't got a dollar to their name. But I tell you right now, you could create a Robinhood account and you can buy a $3 stock, one $3 stock every single paycheck. Throughout the next 4 years, one $3 stock every single paycheck throughout the next 4 years. One $3 stock. Do you know how much money you'll have in the next 4 years? Especially once the economy recovers. That's all it takes. That is all it takes. So I need you to detach from the negativity, detach from the fear, detach from the uncertainty, because we've seen this before. We know what's about to happen. We are about to walk into a time of change, joy, prosperity, abundance, love, community, real deep community. And although we will not walk away from this moment unscathed, what we create is going to be magnificent. It's something to look forward to. And so I hope this short, brief talk has given you some hope, has shown you some light at the end of this dark tunnel. We are changing a new leaf. We are turning a new leaf, creating a whole new country, I think. And unfortunately, just how they say with ourselves individually, whenever you are trying to become who it is you want to be, you've got to say goodbye to your old self. Same concept. Same concept. Same concept. Right now, there are people who are literally throwing temper tantrums because things are not going the way they want them to go. What always happens at the end of a temper tantrum? Do you get your way? Tell me, when a kid throws a temper tantrum, do they get their way, or do they just sit there wailing, hollering and screaming while their parents just move on and do whatever it is and let them holler and scream it out? When a Karen throws a fit, what happens this year in 2025 when a Karen throws a fit? What happens? What happens after that Karen throws a temper tantrum? They scream, they shout, they make a fool of themselves. They throw words, hurtful words, at the people that they're trying to attack. But at the end of the day, this video goes on YouTube TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and they become a laughing stock. And if it's bad enough, they lose their job. Same concept, same principle. Have hope. We have been through this before, unfortunately. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying we have been through this before. And as Black women, we know how to take adversity, oppression, chaos, and turn it into prosperity, turn it into magic, turn it into abundance, turn it into degrees, turn it into businesses, turn it into communities thriving, communities growing, communities full of love, passion, joy. This is not the end for us. This is not the end for this country. I believe we are turning a new leaf. This is a revolution of sorts. No, we will not walk away unscathed. There will be pain, but we will make it through. We will be okay. You and I will be okay. Move if you want to, but if you can't afford to move, if that's not something that's in the cards for you, just know you are going to be okay. Do not let this fear-mongering, this negativity, this unknown uncertainty bring you down. Remember who you are. You are magnificent. You are powerful. You are purposeful. You were put on this earth for a reason, Your Majesty. So focus in on that, on you, your purpose, and your community. You, your purpose, and your community, and you will be okay. You will be okay. I promise you. We are okay. We will be okay. See that light at the end of the tunnel. It's dark right now, but we are stepping into something magnificent. It's going to be joyous. It's going to be great. It's going to be abundant. It's going to be prosperous. Have hope. Have joy. As you see, I'm still, at the end of my vacation, and I have had so much fun this week. So much fun. And I just want to, it reminded me of another podcast that I used to listen to called Married Millennials. And they went to Greece, and for the longest time, they thought they couldn't afford it. But one day, the guy, Justin, decided to just look at how much the flights would cost. Turns out the flights are way cheaper than what he thought. And so he just booked the trip. This is me telling you, just book the trip, Your Majesty. Just book the trip. What is it that you want to do? What is it that you have always wanted to do? Focus on you. Focus on that. What brings you joy? What brings you peace? What brings you happiness? Focus in on that. Take care of you. This might be the time to, if you've always wanted to work on your body, this might be the time to work on your body. If you've always wanted to become a pianist, this might be the time to take those piano lessons. If you always wanted to, I don't know, sew your own clothes, this might be the time to take on that project, take on that hobby. If you have a book within you, a story that you want to tell, this is the time to create that. Focus on you. Focus on your purpose. Why were you put on this earth? Remember the triangle, the 3 points. What have you been through? What are you good at? What is the change you want to see in the world? That is your purpose. Focus on your purpose. You have a gift. You have multiple gifts that are unique to you. You were put on this earth to do what it is that you do in the way that you do, in the way that only you can do. Find your purpose and walk in it. Use that to help your community. Every time natural disasters happen or preventable disasters happen, I hear a lot of people saying, how can I help? What can I do? What can I do? How can I help? Because thoughts and prayers are not enough. How can you help? You can walk in your purpose, because that was what you were put on this earth to help people with. The gifts that you were given from birth, nurture those gifts, use those gifts to help your community. Focus on you, focus on your purpose, focus on your community. And I promise you, you will be okay. We will be okay. Okay? All right. I'm going to step off my high horse now. Just had to say that because there's been way too much fear mongering, way too much negativity going around. And I know we are in a negative time period of our lives, but I see hope. I see joy. I see prosperity on the way, Your Majesty. And I just want to share that with you. Okay, so what are your goals for this week ahead, Your Majesty? Tell me, what do you plan on? How do you plan on slaying your week as only you can? Okay, Your Majesty. Okay. And you know what? I cannot wait to speak to you next week and hear just how you slayed each and every single one of those goals. Because I know that you can. I know that you will. It's not about if you're going to reach those goals. It's about when. Really. It's about how. Because the journey is just so fun. Isn't it? The journey towards your goals, the way that you learn, you find that strength that you thought you never had, the way that you develop that joy and that love and that peace with yourself and who you are, and you find your power. Oh, I cannot wait to speak to you next week and hear just how you have slayed, even through setbacks, even through roadblocks, even through negative Nancy's and Debbie Downers. Just know, if no one's told you yet this week, Your Majesty, I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you. Now, me, myself, what is my goal? Well, really, coming off of vacation for the last week, my goal for the week ahead is to get back on the right time frame, because being in Florida from California, I'm 3 hours ahead of California right now, and that time change has been messing me up. So really, the next week I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to take it slow, and really just get back in the flow of things. Really, I did spend a lot of time this week on vacation deciding how I wanted to spend my winter arc. And so we'll talk about that next week. How I want to dig into taking this last quarter of the year and turning it into something great and setting myself up for success for 2026. So I will be slowly putting, the pieces in place for my winter arc. But for the most part, just coming off vacation, adjusting back to the correct time zone. And my promotion starts on Tuesday. So that's another thing. Yeah. come back from vacation and promotion with a raise, that $20,000 bump we talked about. Yeah. That starts on Tuesday. So easing my way into that is literally everything that I've been doing. There's no change. It's just now that it's official, and the money, you know. So yeah, coming off the vacation high, preparing for my winter arc, and stepping into my new role, my promotion. And yeah, those are my goals for the week. But thank you so much, Your Majesty, for hanging out with me. I really do enjoy our conversations every week. And again, if you want to review these conversations on YouTube, you can catch the first 20 episodes of the Royal Reset podcast on YouTube for free. And moving forward, after the first 20 episodes, every even episode will be on YouTube for free. This episode will be on YouTube for free. However, if you want to catch the odd episodes from 21 on, you will have to join the 4B Royal Court on Patreon. That's patreon.com/4B, PHORBE, for $5 a month. That's it. $5 a month. And you can catch the odd episodes of the podcast as well on there. But thank you all so much for hanging out with me this week. And next week we'll be back at home. Same time, same place. Cannot wait to hear how you slay your week this week. I hope you have a week that's just as magnificent as you are. And I hope you have a week that has more joy, has more happiness, more laughter. Even in the midst of uncertainty, Your Majesty, you are powerful enough to turn this into something magnificent. And so I hope that this episode has given you some hope and has shown you the light at the end of the tunnel. All right, now have a good week. I love you, and I hope you slay, as I know you will. Alrighty, bye.